Alright, Slovakia. My phone cut me out. So, I started thinking about free will when the phone cut out because people always want to say we have free will, but just that little example right there shows you, and really it goes even deeper because this morning, and I'll just tell you I'm going to just share this just so whoever's watching this lesson can ponder on free will and understand it, that we don't have it, okay? So basically, when I woke up today, I was like, man, I'm hungry, right? I was like trying to think of what kind of breakfast I should make myself. I'm laying in bed thinking about what I'm gonna make, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get up and make it. And then I go, and then my conscience said, you know what? I gotta do a lesson. Do that first, right? Even though I was real hungry. So I took the high route. I was obedient, and I said, you know what? Do a lesson first, and then make breakfast, right, in that order. So here I was doing the lesson just now, and I had the food cooking while I was doing the part one that cut out. But I was going to go through the whole lesson. That was my will, right? Or I thought it was my will to do the lesson first. And guess what? Yahweh threw me a bone because he cut my video. And then here I am now finishing the video. So now, if it was free will, then, I could have, chosen. It was my will to do the video, right? But guess what? It was Yahweh's will to change directions because the video cut out. Next thing you know, I'm there sitting there finishing, and I was like, hell with it. I'll just eat my breakfast and do the second part of the video. So I don't know. It was just what I was meditating on while I was making and cooking my breakfast. Okay, so that thought crossed my mind. So in verse 7, and Slovakia, these dogs are coming upstairs, so it says in verse 7, and he said, and this is talking about Manasseh. So remember, he was doing wicked in the sight of Yahweh. He was setting up altars, setting up groves, worshiping the host of heaven. And this what else he did, verse 7. He set up a carved image as the idol which he had made in the house of the Most High, which the Most High had said to David and to Solomon his son, in this house and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen before all the tribes of Israel, I will put my name forever. All right. So you ain't supposed to be putting anything else up except for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Those are the only things that we worship and praise. All right. And even Yahushai, he was humble, and in the spirit, when anybody tried to give him, his disciples tried to give him any type of credit, he deterred it right back to the Father. You see. So let's get this real quick on the carved images, because Manasseh was setting up carved images. Exodus 20:4, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Right? And really that's the spirit too, because I was just kind of fascinated by, you see a big giant statue. So I started Googling them, right? And I'm not going to do it right now because the video will stop recording. But by the way, it's 10:44. Call Yahweh B'Shem. But basically, those are all abominations. All those, you Google the most giant structures, the most giant statues in the world, and these things are freaking ginormous. Like Google the top 10 tallest, largest statues on the planet. And those things are fucking huge, man. They got one in, I think it's in, man, I don't even remember where it's at now. But the tallest one is over there in, I can't even look it up because the phone will cut out. The audio will cut out. But you guys, whoever's watching, look it up. There's this big ass statue. I think it's called the Statue of Unity, which even that's an abomination, right? Because Yahweh's about segregation, right? The Most High, He loves His holy people, as a community, and staying away from the rest. Holy means separate. But anyway, you Google those giant statues, and then this the one I'm thinking of, the Unity one. It's like the Statue of Liberty. To put it in context, the Statue of Liberty goes up to like his calf or his leg, like the bottom of his leg, So it's like a huge fucking statue, and the Statue of Liberty is huge. You know what I'm saying? When you start Googling these statues, and guess what? It's all, if you notice when you do it, all these big giant statues, where are they at? They're all in the heathen. Why? Because they never had these laws. These laws wasn't given to them. Graven images. Now that's your homework. Go Google the tallest statues in the world. And what you'll notice is they're dedicated, most of them are dedicated to pagan gods, pagan idols. Damn, it's bugging me that I can't remember where that big giant one is. The one I'm thinking of, the Statue of Unity. And it's based on some leader from, he wasn't even that far off. He was like, I think he died in like the 50s or 60s, but it's his image. I forget the dude's name too. But go look it up, and just to give you the context and see how big those statues are. And a lot of them are Buddha too. So Buddha's not no fucking, he's not a true power. None of them are, right? But yet, the majority of the most ginormous statues are literally Buddha when you Google that. So why are you gotta ask yourself, why are the heathen nations building these ginormous statues? You don't see, like, because wherever there's Israelites, because really we don't really have any dominion anywhere on the earth, right? Like basically, even when, like, if you take a country like Mexico, these guys are dictated by America, really. America influences the heathen nations, right? And the so-called, like Mexico, that's not a heathen nation, but our people are heathen because they all think they're Mexicans, except for the elect that are coming out in the truth, raising up in the truth in these last days. But the point is you ain't gonna see that big ass ginormous statue, graven image where there's like a bunch of Israelites, which Mexico is Issachar, right? There ain't no fucking ginormous, like none of those statues. Yeah, do they have statues? Yes, but do they have the fucking ginormous statues dedicated that the heathen build? Now go look it up. Because that's what I started to realize and notice when I was looking at all these statues. I was, man, these are all these giant statues are in these heathen nations. But anyway, I'm gonna go moving along. 2 Chronicles 33. So you can't be doing that. And Manasseh was doing that. The point I was making though is the heathen, they've never had these laws, so that's why they're fast forward to today, and these motherfuckers got some big ass ginormous statues on the planet, Let's see, where am I at? And that's another point on verse 7, which I have chosen before all the tribes of Israel, I'll put my name forever. Hey, the name, alright? You think that David and Solomon was calling him God? No, they knew the names. They were calling him Yahweh. Even this dude we're reading about, Manasseh, he knew the name Yahweh. But like we read, he was evil in the sight of Yahweh. You got men like that today. They're doing shit that's not, righteous, teaching false doctrine, but they know the name, IUIC always comes to mind. Verse 8, neither will I any more remove the foot of Israel from out of the land which I have appointed for your fathers, so that they will take heed to do all that I have commanded them, according to the whole law and the statutes and the ordinance of my hand of Moses, by the hand of Moses. So you see, we're supposed to keep the laws, man, even unto this day, to the best of our ability. You think, like the Christians, they think because they didn't call him Jesus, oh yeah, he died for our sins, so we can do whatever we want now. When in the scriptures, what did he tell people after he healed them? Sin no more, right? So we got to keep the laws, man, to the best of our ability, even in our captivity. Verse 9, so Manasseh made Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem to err. Right? See, you cause your own people to err. You lead your brother. It's like the blind leading the blind, both shall fall into a ditch, right? And to do worse than the heathen. You see that? And like, look at the heathen now, building these ginormous statues. But it's even worse for you Israelites to even build just a little statue. Because you have a law to keep. They don't. The law was never given to them. You see? So when Manasseh was doing that, it was worse than the heathen. Alright? And fuck the heathen, right? They can do whatever the hell they want. They don't have no law under Yahweh Shem. That's why they don't keep the laws. Tell me one captivity that we've been in where the heathen were keeping the laws of Yahweh Shem. Never gonna happen. Never has happened in the history of the world. Alright, let's get just to push the point in Romans 9. I'll start at 3. For I wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, from my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth means belongeth to, alright? Who are Israelites, to whom belongs or pertaineth the adoption, the glory, the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of the Most High, and the promises. So, what did I just read? And the giving of the law. The Israelites were given the laws. The heathen were not given the laws. When Moses delivered the Israelites out of Egypt, Moses was given the law by Yahweh, who did Moses read and teach the law to? Were all the nations there in the wilderness with Moses? Were the Moabites out there with Moses and the Israelites? Were the Elamites out there? Were the Canaanites out there? Were the Edomites out there? No. It was just the Israelites. That's who the law was given to. That's why the heathen, I mean, come on. You can't go in history and find a time in history where a heathen nation was keeping the laws of Yahweh, including today. America's a heathen nation. It's an Edomite nation. Do they keep the laws? They say, oh, in God we trust, but yet they're not keeping any laws of the true power, the true God, Yahweh. Because these motherfuckers, when they say in God we trust, they're talking about Baal. They're talking about Satan. As a matter of fact, what they refer to those the people that are in the knowledge, what do they refer to those Amalekites, those fake imposters, those so-called Israelis? They call their church the synagogue of Satan. Okay, let's see. Second Chronicles 33, and I'm at verse 9. No, 10. And Yahweh spake to Manasseh and to his people, but they would not hearken. See that? Same thing that they do now. They don't listen. You Israelites don't listen. Stiff-necked, hard-headed, in one ear, out the other, rebellious. That's our people, man. 11. Wherefore Yahweh brought upon them the captains of the host of the king of Assyria, which took Manasseh among the thorns and bound him with fetters and carried him to Babylon. So you see that? You see when you're disobedient to Yahweh, bad shit happens. You see? It says here, the king of Assyria, the Syrian Babylonian captivity, right? That was punishment. That was like you want to be setting up these altars to these other these other gods. You want to be worshiping my angels. You want to be using witchcraft, enchantments on the people. You want to lead my people to err. You want to lead my people astray. Well, guess what? I'm going to send another nation to conquer you and to put you in slavery, to carry you away into captivity, into Babylon, ancient Babylon. And that's how he's going to do it with these 2/3 nowadays. It's the same thing, man. Nothing new under the sun. You want to keep fucking worshiping everything under the sun instead of the one who created the sun. You see, he's gonna fuck you 2/3 up along with the heathen, and it's because of your rebelliousness. You're like Manasseh, you know. You're like any wicked Israelite that we read of in the scripture, right? Because the scriptures speaks. When you read about these wicked kings, these wicked kings are basically 2/3 in their time. So it's the same thing, man. When World War III nuclear war pops off, what are you gonna do? Who shall abide? Who shall stand in that day? And the answer is only the elect, only the ones who are coming into the knowledge, the truth, only the ones who believe in the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right? Verse 12. And when he was in affliction, he besought Yahweh his power and humbled himself greatly before the Most High of his fathers. So see, and there's going to be, that's why Jacob's trouble's coming, because that's how people find God, right? Like how people go to prison and they so-called find God, but it's a wicked system. So, and it's a wicked captivity we're in. So when these motherfuckers go to prison and they so-called find God, they usually find fake ass Jesus. But I'm sure nowadays, through the Spirit, because the times we're in, there are probably some men learning about Yahweh Shai, but who knows what's going on? There's lots of wickedness going on in there. And that's not really what the ideal place to start finding the truth, right? And maybe I'm not going to say it can never happen, but it could. So maybe there's an elect man wrongfully accused and in there and whatever, who knows the will of Yahweh in that matter. But that's what I'm saying. These people, they wait till they get humbled. And that's why Jacob's trouble is going to come, because it's going to humble a lot of people. Jacob's trouble, I always say, aka martial law. When you have these foreign soldiers and Esau's captains and fucking military out in the street trying to, forcefully push their agenda on you, and you're gonna see all kinds of crazy shit, man. People getting murdered right in front of you, family members getting murdered in front of you by their military who's trying to push these laws, push these draconian measures.